Hey guys, it's Fred from Fred's Garage. In today's video, we're going to talk about my 2022 Bay Sasquatch Bronco and how it came about getting it. Well, it's October 2020. I didn't really need a new car. I have my trusty 2002 BMW X5. And that BMW X5, as long as you keep up on the oil leaks and do the maintenance when you're supposed to do the maintenance, that car will last you for a long, long time. It's already lasted me for 10 years, and it's a 20-something-year-old car. So I wasn't really in the market for a new car. There was nothing out there that I really wanted. With that being said, I saw the first videos that Ford put out of the Bronco, and I was just like, that's it. I want one. They had the video of the cyber orange Bronco driving over the rocks, and they had the cactus gray Bronco with the white interior, and I'm like, I need to order one. But I've bought dozens of cars in my lifetime. And I'm the kind of person that doesn't really have a problem with going to a dealership and haggling and spending 2-3 days or going to 4 or 5 dealerships. I know it's kind of like a game, them against us. It's unfortunate, but that's the way most dealerships are. But I was concerned. I heard a lot of horror stories about people ordering vehicles and the dealers giving them a hassle or adding all kinds of things on them. So I went on Ford's webpage and I put my $100 reservation fee down. And then a day or so later, I get signed to a dealership in my area. And it just had to do with my zip code. And that's the problem with when you go to a dealership. It's very important that you research your dealership. It doesn't have to be Ford. It could be anybody. What most people do is if they want whatever type of vehicle they want, they drive down some highway and they see the dealership that sells that vehicle and they go in. They might have never had any history with that dealership, don't know anything about that dealership, and those are the people that are just gambling. They're just hoping that the dealership and the experience works out good. And in my history, the dealerships are just not comfortable places to go to. It's just not cut and dry. It's not like going to Best Buy and buying a television. It's such a huge ordeal that it doesn't need to be. And hopefully in the future, I think it'll change. I called the dealership and internet salesperson, and I asked them, hey, is there a dealer fee? Because down here in Florida, there's this thing called the dealer fee. It's like can average from like $800 to $1,200 per dealer. And where I came from up north, we never heard of a dealer fee. What do you mean a dealer fee? You need a fee to put on top of the price? But I asked if there's a dealer fee. She said, yeah, $900. I'm like, $900, okay. And then I said, so are we going to do a contract? Price protection? Are you going to charge anything over the MSRP? And she said, well, we don't really know yet. I mean, what do you mean you don't know yet? What do you mean? Am I going to sign a contract? She says, no, well, we'll sign a purchase and sales agreement. I said, no, I don't want to sign a purchase and sales agreement. I want to sign an actual contract that's legal. And she said, oh, we don't do that. So I hung up from that conversation, knowing that dealership wasn't going to go good. And the thing I got to tell you is today that dealership has 6 Broncos sitting in the front. And you drive by and you see these 6 Broncos there and you say, well, that's awfully strange. How can this dealer have 6 Broncos? The reason they have 6 Broncos is because every one they want $25,000 over MSRP. It makes you think, how'd you get those Broncos? Did people just walk away when they finally came in? So I didn't want to deal with any of that. So I did my research, and that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You need to do your research. With my research, I came up to a dealership that got great reviews on Google, great reviews on the forum. It was a dealership called Mullinex Ford. And the one I went to, there's several of them, but the one I went to was in Apopka, Florida. So Mullinex Ford in Apopka, Florida. So I spoke with them. They answered all my questions. Yes, we'll sign a contract. Yes, we have no dealer fee. Yes, we won't add any money over the price of the vehicle. And I said, great. So I called Ford. Ford let me change because I never initially did my order. Ford allowed me to change to that dealership. Now, that dealership's 135 miles away from my house, but I never had to go there. I did everything online or over the phone. My salesman, Jesse, was great. I give him 5 stars out of a 5-star review for sure. So this is October 2020. I ordered my Bronco. I said, all right, well, I'll drive the BMW for 3-4 months. She's old. And then we'll get rid of the BMW and I'll get my Bronco. Well, 3-4 months went by, 6 months went by, 8 months went by, and we all know the saga, how long it took to get the Bronco. So now it's October 2021. My initial Bronco order was for a Big Bend in Cactus Gray. But because I had so much time thinking about it, I decided, you know what? I'd rather have a base Sasquatch. And luckily for me, Ford made me reorder in October for 2022. So that reorder, they had eruption green. So I placed my order for a base Sasquatch 2.7 hardtop with eruption green. Now I know I had some constraints. The 2.7, the hardtop, I didn't know at the time the Sasquatch package was going to be one. So as the time went by, now it's April, May, June of 2022. It's been a year and a half. People start seeing Broncos on the road. I can't go to work. Every day I go to work, somebody's like, hey, did you get your Bronco? No, I didn't get my Bronco. I've seen Broncos. I'm like, yeah, I know. You've seen them too. Those didn't have the constraints. They had soft tops. They probably had 2.3s. I wanted the 2.7 and I wanted the hard top. So I said, all right, I'm willing to wait. And then next thing you know, you hear the Sasquatch package is on constraint. So I waited some more. And then comes August. I find out, hey, I got a VIN. They're going to build my vehicle in September. I'm like, oh, this is great. Meanwhile, thank God for my trusty X5. It's been 18 months at this point, and it's still running, still driving me, never giving me a problem. So it's supposed to be built September 18th. So I'm like, great, it'll be built September 18th. Probably take a couple of weeks to get to the dealer. I'll get it 1st of October. September 18th comes, September 18th goes. Then it's supposed to be built in the middle of November. Then it's supposed to be built in the end of November. It finally was built November 18th. So now I'm excited. November 18th, I should be able to get it in a couple of weeks, have it before Christmas. Well, it sat at a train yard somewhere in Michigan for 6 weeks. It ended up being delivered to the dealership on December 23rd of 2022, 2 days before Christmas. It was great. Couldn't get it before Christmas, so we figured we'd get it the week after Christmas. The best part about my dealership, like I told you, and the most important part, there was no games. If you're in the Bronco or the Maverick, or you ordered any of those, you've heard people give you all kinds of horror stories about these dealerships. I heard a story of this guy put in an order for a Maverick. The Maverick was a LX hybrid. It was like $21,500. The dealer calls him up, says, hey, your Maverick's here. He goes, great. Comes up, $21,500 plus tax. We're ready to go. The dealer says, no, I need $6,000 over the price. The guy says, what do you mean you need $6,000 over the price? He's like, yeah, $6,000 over the price, or I sell it to somebody else. He goes, well, I signed a contract. And the dealer said, no, you didn't. You signed a purchase agreement. You agreed that you were going to buy it, but you never signed a contract. That's the same thing they told me in my initial dealership. And that's where Mullinex Ford, we signed a contract. It was all done. When the Bronco came in, it was that price, okay? And with my price protection, it was honestly a great deal. The best part about Mullinex Ford, we did everything online. And as I said earlier in the video, they were 135 miles away. I never once had to go there. They actually delivered it for free right to my driveway. So the Wednesday after Christmas, here she comes. And there she is, delivered to my house. The main thing I can tell anybody out there is you got to research your dealers, man. Nowadays with the internet, with reviews, Google, it's so easy to do, okay? And when you hear a story where somebody says they had a bad sales experience or 2 bad sales experiences, then you know that's actually 20 bad sales experiences, because very few people write reviews. But I'm so happy I went there. I'm so happy I got the Bronco. And I tell you, like I said, did I need a new car? No. Does my passion for this Bronco want to have a Bronco? Yes. Was it worth the 26-month wait? It definitely was. Definitely was to have it. So this video is for everybody to know my plight, which is similar to probably thousands of people's plights, and people who are ordering or still waiting. Hey, we all had to wait. Hopefully you got a vehicle that you can still drive and you don't need to get something. That would have been the breaker. The breaker in the deal is if my car broke down and I needed to replace it. Then I couldn't wait. But luckily for me, I couldn't wait. So it's the best thing that happened. Take a look at her. She was totally worth the wait. So don't get discouraged. Just be smart. Choose your dealer, sign a contract, make sure you got everything in writing, and when it comes in, you'll forget all about the last 26 months. You only care about the future. So, all right, guys, we're going to start doing a weekly video on the car market. We're going to do a lot of Bronco videos. I got another car coming you guys will probably be interested in. But we're going to start doing a weekly video on the future of the cars. Electric, non-electric. Is electric the future? So if you feel like watching more of these videos, and I have a couple of them are up already, so if you can, subscribe, hit the like button and the notification button, and as soon as I post more videos, you'll be able to see them. All right? Thank you so much. Have a nice day.